Hey everyone, my name is Owen. Welcome to my channel. Sometimes I think about the future, not just mine or yours, but the future of our kids, our grandkids, and even their kids. And I've got to tell you, I'm starting to feel like we're at one of those critical crossroads, like the kind they made in movies about, where a small decisions today could ripples out into massive consequences decades down the line. So, picture this. It's 2040. Your grandkids are all grown up, living in the world that's fully digital. Now, I'm talking about a world where even the smallest amounts of physical cash is something you'll only find in museums. What's the currencies of choice in this future? Bitcoins, of course. And not just because it's cool and trendy, but because it becomes the backbone of the global economy. Now, why I'm telling you all these? Because if you don't get in on Bitcoin while it's still within reach, your descendants might end up on a wrong side of history. Let me paint you a picture of what that could look like. There only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. That's a number as unchangeable as gravity itself. And right now, these Bitcoins are being mined, traded, and yes, accumulated by people, big institutions, and even governments that sees the writing on the wall. But what happens when they're all accounted for? Your grandkids might be living in a world where those who own Bitcoins are the new royalty. And those who don't, well, they're working hard just to get their hands on a few precious Satoshis. That's the smallest units of Bitcoin. By the way, like the pennies in your pockets, except by then, they'll be worth a heck of a lot more. Imagine this. Your grandkids waking up every day, putting long hours, and at the ends of the month, their salaries comes in a fractions of a Bitcoin. Because that's how scarce and valuable it's become. While we are over here debating whether to invest in Bitcoin or not, now the value of Bitcoin is climbing ever higher, forever outpacing the dollars, which is steadily losing ground like a leaky boat in the ocean. And it's not just us little guys. The big banks, massive corporations, and even entire countries are snapping up Bitcoins like it's going out of style. Like ETFs from giants like BlackRock are swooping in, making it easy for everyone to invest, except once they are bought up this share, what's left for the rest of us? Guys, let's but let not just talk about the grim stuff. Let's imagine the flip side. Okay, what if you do invest in Bitcoins now? What if a few decades down the road, your grandkids are the ones who don't have to sweat it out because you had the foresight to see where things were headed? They could be the ones hiring others, building businesses, and living comfortably, all because you got in while the getting was good. Remember 2009? Back then, Bitcoin was a baby. 0.0007 could get you one Bitcoin. Now, a single dollar back then could get you 1,309 Bitcoins. And now, in 2024, just 15 years later, one Bitcoin is worth around $60,000. Imagine what that growth will look like with regulatory clarity, with big names like BlackRock's buying in, and with governments starting to stash Bitcoins in their treasury. So, here's the things. You don't need to go all in, but you do need to think seriously about what not investing could mean for your bloodline. The future is digital, and Bitcoin isn't just a part of it, it's leading the chart. Don't let your future descendants look back and wonder why you missed the boat. Because if you do, they might just find themselves working for the ones who didn't. And trust me, you want to be on the right side of the history. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening to my video. And I will see you again in my next video. Take care.